Welcome to another stage analysis video. It's Sunday the 29th of September 2024. So wanted to do something a little bit different this weekend. So I've added a number of new features over the weekend, which I thought would be really useful to actually talk about in a bit more detail and cut back on the usual regular video. So what I've done is I've added a number of features to the side panels in here where we've got group charts. So when you click on a chart, you can now see a group chart itself. Each of the pages, if we flick through to them, have actually got the charts for the different groups. So you can scroll back through time and see what they're doing. So this is the semiconductors sub-industry, for example. We have the SATA 6+% charts here, so it shows there's just over about 33% there at the moment. You can see there's just in the mid 40s for the percentage of stocks above their 30-week moving average. So you get the actual weekly chart of the group. You get some breadth information. I've changed the order of these in the groups page so that you can see the individual stocks that make up the charts in order of market cap. So Nvidia, TSM, AVGO, for example, and these are the biggest stocks here. So these are equal weighted charts at the moment. I will be doing a specially weighted chart as well, and we will be getting the stage analysis technical attribute scores, the mental relative strength data, and percentage data for these each week as well. So we'll be able to do relative strength rankings. We'll be able to use them in the screener the same way as the SATA scores, etc. So on the stock pages, as I said, you've got all three here. So you've got the sector. If we click on this area here, information technology, and then you can compare what the sector chart is doing compared to Nvidia itself. So you can see Nvidia is in a stage 3 range at the moment. You can see the information technology group itself is in a broader stage 3 structure, just sitting at the top of the structure. So it gives you some context of how the stock is doing compared to its sector. Then you can see the other stocks through here in the sector. Same with the industry group, so the second area here. So if you click on semiconductors and semiconductor equipment, you get another panel. You see you get a different chart. So you can see this is actually it's not doing as the stage 3 range is more developed than we're seeing in the sector itself. There it's a bit more volatile in the near term here, a bit more head and shouldery in that regard. So but you can again compare, you can see the recent pivots versus what's going on in Nvidia here. So you can see the actual Nvidia is doing better than the semiconductor and semiconductor equipment group, and you can see from its score down here, if we scroll down, you can see it's highlighted. It's on a SATA 7 at the moment. It's got a decent relative strength score here, 29, so above the 0 line there. So as you can see, it's been outperforming on the chart all this time since back in early 2023 when it broke out into stage 2. Around this area here was the stage 2 breakout weeks, that week specifically. So that's one thing you can do, and then we go through to another stock, for example IONQ, just having a stage 2 breakout attempt this week. So we can draw our structure across here, so you can see the previous structures. So it had a much broader structure through this area here, terminal shakeout, a test, and started to move back out again, made an early stage 2 breakout attempt, came back into the range and then followed through again, outperformed through most of all of the stage 2 period, and even during the stage 3 period before it started to break down there. So this one at the moment, again, it's got if you look at the names down here, so the sub-industries and the industries sometimes have the same names. For the most part, they have different names, but in this case, technology, hardware, storage and peripherals, you can see it's a relatively small group. IONQ is third at the moment in the group. You can see this has got SMCI in it. You can see the stocks have been the group itself is in stage 4 here, so the group has rolled down into stage 4, whereas IONQ is starting to make a new stage 2 breakout attempt. So it's outperforming the sub-industry at the moment, but obviously versus the S&P 500, it's still below the 0 line here, so it's not yet, although it's outperforming in the near term, it's still underperforming on a 52-week basis there. So again, you can look at what's going on in the industry, similar kind of thing. You can look on what's going on in the sector. So it can give you a good way to quickly compare how a stock is doing versus its sector, its industry, and its sub-industry. So we get this information here of how strong the stocks in the group are. So we've got 38% of stocks in the tech sector have got a healthy SATA score. So that's a SATA score of 6 or greater. So all the stocks with these scores basically is what this measures. So again, the industry is only 29% and the sub-industry is only 30%. So if we click into the chart here, you'll see that that's all of these stocks make up that 30%, and then these below, the 5s and 4s are neutral, and the 3s to the 0s are negative. So at the moment, SMCI, for example, if we go through to that one, SMCI, you can see is in stage 4 and continuing lower in stage 4, but making obviously attempting to hold in a little local base here, but it's been in stage 4 for a couple of months now. So scores of 0, as you can see, the SATA score started breaking down heavily at this point, broke below its 0 line as it broke down into stage 4 there. And again, same group makeup for this one, so you can compare how this is doing versus its group. It's more in line with what's going on in the broader group, but this one is underperforming versus the group as well. You can see this is a little bit more extreme than what we're seeing in the group itself there. So this is one way that you can use this information. So it's not just on the chart pages though, although that's really useful on the page. I've also made it happen on the bell curve pages as well. So if we come into the market breadth sections here, we've got the sub-industries, the industries and the groups. So this page is the sub-industries. So when it loads, you can see at the moment we've got 36.42% in the weak zone, so they've got less than 40% of their stocks are technically healthy. We've got 34.5% are neutral and 29.01% are strong. So you've only got less than a third of groups that are technically strong at the moment. If we change this to the percentage of stocks above their 30-week moving average, you can see that there's more groups above their 30-week moving average than there are below it. So it's a different picture there, but the SATA score has 10 characteristics versus just a single thing like the percentage of stocks above their moving average. So this gives you a much better technical picture of what's going on. So what I've done in the bell curve, changed a bit of formatting on the page so that you get more on the page. I've moved the types down here. You can still flick through if you want to change, see what's going on in the consumer discretionary sector. You want to look at the materials groups, so you can see silver, copper up here doing really well at the moment. So, or you can come back to the overall view, and when you click on these now, when you open it, so we click on gold here, you see you now get the group chart down the bottom here. So these are the stocks obviously make up it. There is a few caveats to that. There is the way that they're weighted with market cap. So they are equal weighted, but some stocks, any stocks under 300 million are excluded at the moment. And so you will find there is one in here, so this marine ports and services, where it doesn't have a chart. We'll just wait for that to load a second. So you see that doesn't have a chart because it's only got a single stock, and that stock has got a market cap of less than 300 million. So whereas the other groups, for every single other one, they've all got charts at the moment. So that will change over time depending on the group makeups. But you can see here, gold, we've got started to break out into stage 2, and it's been grinding itself higher in stage 2, continuing to make new highs at the moment. You can click through from this page. So if you click the name at the top here, click on gold, it will take you through to a bigger chart, and then again you've got the SATA scores, you've got the individual what's the change on the week, the pricing, the market cap, etc. And you can also get that information from the screener too. So if we come back into the bell curve here, you can see you can switch between. So you've got copper, one of this week's strongest movers, for example. You can see it had a big move. It's only got 4 stocks in the subgroup low. Silver also pushing higher in stage 2. You can see it's been in stage 2 for a while now. So it's been a bit of a choppy range, but attempting to push higher out of there. And these are the stocks that make up this chart, for example. So it's a really, really useful way that you can use the bell curve now. So not only have you got the percentage moves on here, so the percentages go from the weakest at the bottom of each column to the strongest. So you can see 40% at the bottom here, 44.44 at the top. So they're all 5% ranges with each column. So whereas obviously in the 100% range, everything's 100%. So our strongest group at the moment continues to be independent power and producers. You can see it's been in a really powerful stage 2, more than doubling during 2024 here. So this is these utilities that are the power producing stocks related to what's going on with the AI theme. So the AI related utilities are a bunch of these and other ones. And there's some new ones that have just come in, GEV for example here, which doesn't yet have a SATA score because it's too young, but you can see obviously contributing to the chart itself with powerful moves. It's more than doubled since it went live. So let's see, when did it actually IPO through here? Get that back up. On 25th of March. So this is a really, really useful way that we can now use these. So coming in, looking at opening up quickly, looking at the charts. If it hasn't loaded once before, there is a caveat in terms of, so if we look at, I don't know, one of these random ones, I probably won't look, Timberite, you'll see you get the little spinny wheel. So until it loads for the first time, and then once it's loaded for the first time, if you load it for a second time, it will then load. So they're cached for like a day until they update again. So there will be times where you get the spinny wheel. It's annoying, but I will be upgrading the server soon, which will make those a bit quicker as well. So when they do happen, but it only happens on the first load, then they're much quicker. You can see, like for example, semiconductors at the moment, there's only 16.22% of semiconductor materials and equipment stocks that are technically strong. If we look in here, you can see why. You see all the red here. So they're all negative, potentially stage 3 and stage 4 stocks. You've got a bunch of neutral, but we've only got these, 6 stocks that are actually positive, technically healthy at the moment through here with and you can see the actual group chart here now. So, which has been actually dipped down into stage 4, but still hanging on in stage 3. So a few attempts to push down into stage 4 here, but not quite got there yet. You can see the 30-week moving average is starting to decline here. If it does roll over again through here, potentially that could turn to stage 4 there. So you can see the group as a whole is quite weak, and you can see from the individual stocks, we've got zeros, ones, two, so lots of negative stocks in the semiconductor materials and equipment group. If we come into the actual group page itself, you can see obviously there's only very few that are actually technically strong and very few that are above the 30-week moving average at the moment. So if you look at it from a market cap view here, you can see we've got lots of weak scores in there, and you can see by, obviously you can do the SATA change here. There was actually some good improvements this week. You can see there was a number that moved into the stronger zone this week, and you can see from the relative strength changes, there was a lot of positive relative strength changes there. So it was a strong week for it, but it's overall a not such a good group at the moment, down at the lower end of the bell curve here. So that's another way that you can obviously use this data. This chart below at the moment, when you click on the different names, takes you through to the page. So you come through to the silver page, for example, here. So we are going to be having we're going to have the SATA score, the SATA change, the Mantle relative strength, the Mantle relative strength change, and you'll be able to click through to the chart pages on these as well. So I think that will make a big change with this, as we'll actually be able to order it by the SATA scores and not just the percentage of stocks above or that have got the technically healthy. So you'll be able to see which are the moving stocks. We'll be able to scan for those, and I think that's going to be a really powerful feature. And again, so we can come into the different ones. We've got industries here, so this is the 74 industries. So we look at the independent power and producers, again still strong in here, slightly bigger group. We let's look at something else like semiconductors and semiconductor equipment. This is the broader group, as you can see, much bigger group, 117 stocks in that one, and this chart obviously measures those. So as I said, we've got some different rules for the different types of groups, the sectors, the groups, the industries, and the sub-industries. So it doesn't take into account every single stock in the group. It's focused on the more liquid. I think at the moment I've got, for the sectors, we're using 100 group 75, industries 50, and the sub-industries 25 stocks. So there's a limit in each group, so it gives you the most liquid by market cap, and we get rid of the more illiquid stocks that obviously very few people focus on. But we'll potentially do broader charts as well in time, but at the moment I think this is coming up with the best way to represent the data from a stage analysis perspective and make them tradable as well, potentially. So especially with the sub-industry charts, when you've got smaller charts, I'm potentially going to have even smaller charts for the groups, so that we can obviously make them into sort of mini baskets, so you'll be able to trade the charts. So I think that'll be quite an exciting thing to do. So, and again, groups, we've got the broader groups here. So you want to look at materials, just let that load a second. This is a bigger group, so you'll be able to see what's going on with the materials chart. So at the moment, making a stage 2 continuation breakout attempt after being in stage 3 for a little bit here. So that's a new continuation breakout attempt in the materials group at the moment. So, and then if we come back to sectors, you can see materials has actually been moving up over the last few weeks. If we scroll down here, you can see the materials. Just highlight the section through here. You see it's up 33% in the last quarter. So it has been one of the stronger areas. So, and it's now back to a neutral 50% position. Utilities still leading, followed by real estate, which have been leading for a while, and financials. But you can see real estate and financials took a hit in the last week, so dropping off. So -8, -6. So these ones here, they were high up, starting to drop down a little bit. And materials, industrials, tech, etc. These have been rising up. A lot of them were in the lower zone a few weeks ago, so starting to see a little bit more of the groups moving back into the neutral ranges. Again, you can, if you hover over these, you get the percentages of what's going on. You obviously see the percentages down here. You can see the overall percentage. You can see the sector breadth charts for each lower down the page, and if you click on these and go, it takes you through to the page, so you get the chart. You can obviously scroll back through these, so you can see the tech chart breaking out into stage 2 at this point through here. That's when it started to break out into stage 2. And there's obviously been in a strong stage 2 move, but we're now been going sideways for a while here. Let me scroll that across. So it's actually in a broader stage 3 structure at the moment. So tech has been lagging for a while now, whereas if you compare this to something like utilities or financials has been a strong runner in stage 2 for a long time now. So you can see obviously original breakout attempts through here that shook out quite a bit before it finally started to get going more convincingly. But since then, it's only had that major pullback into the October-November lows there before making that continuation, and there's been trudging higher ever since. So financials has been one of the leading areas. You can see from the technically healthy stocks is still in a good area here around the 60% level, and you've still got over 80% above their 30-week moving average at the moment. So you've got the likes of Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, etc. here. So another way that you can look at the group charts on these is by coming into here, and if you scroll down and you click on them in here, if you just want to quickly flick through them, you can again get the panel out. You can quickly have a look at what's going on via the slide out panel, as that's a more useful way to quickly look at the data versus the chart for the sectors. So a number of different ways that you can obviously use this breadth information and these new group charts. So we've got the slide out panels on the bell curve charts, we've got the slide out panels on the stock pages itself, and versus the sub-industry, the industry and the sector, etc. So lots and lots of different ways that you can get the information on the website here. And then once you have that information, you can obviously come back into the screener. So say you found that you're interested in the silver stocks, for example, here. So you can scroll down, you can find silver here, and then you can start to use your different filters on that. You can see 1 week change. We've got these 3 stocks had the strongest moves in terms of technical change on the week. You can look at, if you want to do it just by score, you can see SVM is your current leader here. So pushing out to new highs. Got 100% at the moment that are technically healthy. Again, we can look at what it's doing relative to the metals and mining group. So the metals and minings group is in stage 3, attempted to break down into stage 4 and has come back up again. So it potentially could turn back towards stage 2 again if it makes a new high, but you can see SVM, for example, here has broken out to new highs, so showing some relative strength compared to its industry, compared to silver itself. Here you can see silver, it's showing a little bit more relative strength compared to silver itself as well. And then versus materials, you see that's, as we said, making a stage 2 continuation breakout, so in a similar position to the overall group there. Where are we? And then you can obviously use your different filters on here. You can check whether you can go by what the SATA score is, whether they've had a positive change on the week, whether they've had a negative change on the week. You can, if we take this out and then just look at the screener in general. So lots of different ways that you can use the screener. For example, you want to find some potential stage 2 breakouts for the week. So one of the better ways to do it is with the cross above the 0 line in the mantle of relative strength. That can give you a really good short list to go through to start with. So we can look for those with good relative volume, so at least 1 times their average weekly volume. Those that have average volume, so that's more than 300k a day, we get rid of some of the micro cap stocks, and then those that closed in the upper quarter of the bar. So you can see we sort them by industry and sector there. You can see these stocks here crossed above their 0 line this week. So if we just open a few, let's look down here, get a few of these up, you'll see some breakouts. So SVM, so little breakout attempt through here. You can see a stage 2 breakout there with Liberty Broadband, stage 2 breakout of ATHM. Got potential couple of weeks LYV, so breaking back out after failed stage 4 breakdown attempt there. So it's a new continuation attempt. So this is one way that you can quickly find potential movers in that regard. Another way you can do it is the breakdowns and the breakouts and breakdowns section here. So if we go put down to breakout at the end of the week, you can use the relative volume more. It's during the earlier parts of the week you want to use less. So on a Friday onwards, you do greater than 1 times. That'll take your numbers down. So we've only got 268 there left. Again, average volume, take that down, get rid of the market caps, the smaller ones. You want to look for those that had strong closes, and we can potentially only look for those that are strong as well. So already getting those. So we got that down to 110. Again, organised by your sector and sub-industry. And then another thing you can do with this is you will find potential themes. You can see we've got cable and satellite, got interactive home entertainment, you've got interactive media and services, movies and entertainment, apparel. So it starts to show you some of the potential group themes that are going on. So you can see here, XPEV, NEO, Lear. So we had multiple stage 2 breakout attempts in these this week in the Chinese automakers with the general China theme that was going on this week. Again, NEO making a stage 2 breakout attempt. You've got Lee, which is a breakout attempt from a lower base, so one of those 4B minus that's gone to stage 1 and may quickly turn to stage 2, but it's still got a declining 30-week moving average at the moment. Relative strength is still below the 0 line, so showing some near-term strength, but this one has come from a deeper position as such. So as I said, you can quickly find group themes by doing it this way, and then you can start to look through and find obviously potential stocks and start to make your watch list, whatever. So you can see MP, another one. I know it's having a potential stage 2 breakout attempt this week. So it's another way that you can use the screener, as well as using it for various breadth measures, like you want to see how many are strong, how many are weak, etc. So lots and lots of different ways that you can use the screener too. ETF summary, and ETFs are in this column at the moment. So we've got the US market ETFs, and you get their score, their relative strength. So at the moment you can see basically everything's underperforming the S&P 500 at the moment. But they're all in technically healthy scores at the moment, 6s to 9s. So anything 6 to 10 range is your healthy range. You can see utilities industrials, discretionary, leading at the moment in the sectors here. Energy, healthcare, tech are the laggers, but tech has moved back to the technically healthy area this week, so moving up to a 6 from a 5 last week. Commodities, gold leads. You've got precious metals, agriculture, silver. At the bottom end, oil, gasoline, energy. So treasuries are still in the healthy range. You can see the Chinese shares have moved to the top this week with a massive move in K-Web, for example, here. So quickly run up in the last week, but you've still got the aerospace and defence ones in here. Gold miners, silver miners, home construction's been in there for a while. So you can see home construction dropped off a bit this week, but it's been in a long stage 2. So this is a good comparison one actually that we can use versus the group charts here. So this is the ITB. So if I come back to we go back to the group pages, what am I looking for? So I want home builders. So if we go onto the home building page, I'll just open that up, and then let me flick through home building. Let me just move that along so I can flick between the two. So this is our GICS sub-industry here. So you can see made the stage 2 breakout. Back down here it's made a continuation breakout, and again further continuation breakout. Potential shortening of the thrust going on at the moment. You can see that the length of the rallies is potentially shortening. If it does start to roll over through here, then that would be a potential sign of it weakening. It's obviously very late in stage 2, so this is your obviously stage 2 breakout. The initial stage 2 breakout is what we call stage 2A. So this is your stage 2A area here until you break above the first pivot, or 3 months or so after. That's the stage 2A area. So we did have a brief stage 3 and then even a small stage 4 breakdown that turned into a shakeout through here and then made that continuation. So it's been in stage 2, had a 3 into 4, back through with a stage 2 continuation, and again a brief 3, and now it's back in 2 again. So if we compare this to the ITB ETF, as you can see here, so you can see very, very similar in structure to that ETF. So I think that shows that the group charts obviously are a very good proxy for what we're looking for here. So my one's equal weighted. The ITB obviously has a bit more of a cap weighting in it, I believe. So, and obviously different stocks, but it's obviously trying to represent the home construction group. So you can see they're pretty similar in structure. So hopefully that means that our group charts are relatively accurate to what we get with the various ETFs. So we will see in time. They're only the group charts at the moment and sector charts, etc., are only obviously a new development. So I might change the formula for them over time and how they work and the amount of stocks in them, etc. But for the moment, just experimenting with them, and I think they do a good job of capturing what's going on in the group. And the whole point of that is that we're looking for something that represents what's happening in the individual stocks. As from a stage analysis perspective, the forest to the trees approach, we just want something that's representative. So we obviously can't trade this precisely, we can only trade it through the individual stocks. So but this will give us a general overview, and if they're all done in exactly the same way, so they're relative to each other. So if there is any inconsistencies, etc., then they will obviously equally share them on a relative basis. So it should play out okay in that regard. Right, and where are we? Let's go back one. And what was our ETF summary? Just wanted to finish off this. So bottom end of the ETF summary, we've got the oil services, oil exploration, and MJ cannabis stocks. The uranium has been moving up the last few weeks, so pushed up strongly. Did highlight this on the industry group relative strength rankings the prior week. So we had a good follow through week this week. So starting to come back into, we moved to stage 4B minus, so it could potentially be turning back towards stage 1, but still obviously lingering around the stage 4 breakdown level at the moment. So if this can start to develop sideways or get back through that 30-week moving average and hold, then this could start to get interesting again. Right, okay, let's get back onto the normal weekend video now. Hopefully that's been useful for anybody watching that's obviously not used the website before. So these are all of the various member tools at the moment. We've got the chart lists as well, where you can create your own chart lists and edit lists. These are just my lists at the moment, so, and then they pop up as well in the screener. So I've got precious metals that are made up of multiple groups, as they're not necessarily silver, gold, diversified metals and minerals and precious metals. They'll make up different groups here. Uranium stocks have got what's been going on in the September watch list. We've got the little space group. This is a newer one. So you've got Rocket Lab, Luna, for example, here at the moment. ASTS, they're the sort of main space ones, but we've got some secondary ones that are related to the space theme as well. So it's kind of a broader group to do with the overall space theme. I've got solar, so copper stocks from the broader group. So you've got Rio and BHP, etc. in there as well. So not just the copper stocks from the sub-industry. You've got the ones that also are more diversified and also do other minerals and metals as well. So it's another way that you can use the chart list feature there. So again, anybody that's interested in the website, you can obviously subscribe by just coming to the main page, and then there's a big button at the top when you're not logged in that says subscribe, and then it will take you to a page where it'll give you the different options. So hopefully we'll see more of you join in with all of these new features. There's still lots more to come in terms of the features. Working on it every day, and going to be for years to come yet. So lots and lots to come with the website, and hopefully we will make this into the premium place for stage analysis. Hopefully you already think it is, but hopefully we can get even more really useful tools and make it as basically the best place to come and do your research from a stage analysis perspective. And then you can obviously go off to your various charting tools, your trading views and stock charts, etc., to get into the live data, etc. Right, let's move on to the weekend watch list.